Hello guys, this is Carlos Ramosa here. Welcome back to another rudimental breakdown video. It's been a while, considering that we are in the midst of the situation, national or worldwide, whatever you want to call it. Decided to do a rudimental breakdown for my students and anybody out there that wants to learn breaking down rudiments and kind of taking it apart and dissecting it and really understanding through and through how it works and how to play it properly. And we're gonna have a little fun with this one. So we're gonna be talking about today called the Paradiddle. It's a very important, very crucial rudiment to learn and know how to play. And like I said, it may seem for those who are drummers and play and they know the rudiments, you might sort of glaze over this one like it's not a big deal. It is, in my opinion, a very important rudiment when playing drum set. I'd have to put that on my personal list of top 5 rudiments to play while on drum set. And we'll talk about that list later on. This is now's not the time for that. So Paradiddle. We're going to be doing something I kind of, thanks to a technique class I did at the U of A, at University of Arizona years ago, was we kind of played along with this rudiment, took it apart bit by bit, and sort of, we made it into 4 patterns, and we sort of went through section by section, and then I decided to kind of take it a little bit further on my own study time by mixing it, sort of jumping back from section to section, and you'll see that when I demonstrate that in the tune that we're about to play along with. So, as we know, Paradiddle it's 4 notes, whether it be 16 notes or 8 notes, as long as it's a simple rhythm or 4 rhythms of the same type. But what's more important is the sticking. Now, the Paradiddle is right, left, right, right. And again, it's significant because the downbeat alternates as a result of the sticking combination. So the next part of it would be right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. And then it just sort of, and then it goes back to what we started. So I'm going to demonstrate that real quick, then we're going to talk about the breakdown pattern. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right. You typically want to accent the downbeat or emphasize a little bit so that way you can kind of hear the pulse, the downbeat, and all this. So those patterns that I was referring to just a little while ago, I'm going to call it pattern A, B, C, and D. Like I said, we're going to break this down and sort of build it back up as we progress through these patterns. Pattern A is you're just going to, if we're taking the rudiment to be 16th note based. Pattern A is just alternating quarter notes. And for those who may know what I'm talking about or have done my particular breakdown of this rudiment in a class years ago with other things I have been a part of educationally or teaching-wise, you'll know where I'm getting at with this. But pattern A is we're just alternating quarter notes. And what we're shooting for as we're doing this is we want to be very relaxed. We're playing with great technique, but we're also trying to play with a sort of flow, with a sense of fluidity. Imagine if we were if the room we were in, or we were playing, just if we're filled up with water, or if we're playing in a pool full of water, what would our hands look like? What would the sticks look like? It'd be very fluid, it'd be kind of slow motion, Matrix-like, but it would be very fluid. It would look very smooth when we played. And when we don't want to be rigid or stiff. That just causes a lot of issues, short-term and long-term, in terms of the kind of sound we will create. We're shooting for a technique and a sound quality that's consistent, and that can be sustainable, but also we want to play with such relaxed approach to where we can, and if this is something we enjoy, we can play for long periods of time and play as long as we want. I've been doing drums for a good 24 years. I've been blessed to be playing this long, and I hope to play for 24 more. So this is kind of the idea that we're shooting for with this. So pattern A, alternating quarter notes. Now pattern B is 8 notes. Now here's where we kind of get into that accent tap approach, a loud note and a softer note. And you definitely want to visibly see a difference in the heights I'm playing, at least for this exercise and what we're about to do. But 8th note. So here's the kicker with if you think about the pattern or the sticking of the rudiment, it's going to be right, right, left, left. So there's that. And again, it's accent, tap, accent, tap. Now, pattern C, same thing, but we're going to think of it, it's all one hand lead, and it sort of flows into the next pattern, or the next hand with the way this pattern goes. It's an 8th note and 2 16th notes, but it's all done in the same hand, but then it leads to the next. Right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left. So, as I'm playing the double, I'm actually preparing, and you may have seen this in the pattern B, what I was doing with the 8th notes, but you're doing a preparation stroke, or an upstroke, as some might refer to prepare for the next beat or hit. So, thinking about that way, my bad, we need to count that way we can play along with this together. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. So there's that. Now, pattern D is actually the rudiment itself. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. But you always want to think of it like a very fluid motion, being very fluid with our playing. So, same tempo, same thing. Counting up the 8 notes. 2, 3, and 4. So, you can play this with a metronome, and nothing says that you don't have, or you have to play with the metronome, or it's the only way to play. There's nothing wrong with playing with a metronome, but sometimes we want to have a little. You want to mix it up. You play it with you play it with tunes on the radio, or just songs of any kind, as long as it's an appropriate tempo, or as long as it's not ridiculously fast. Especially if we're starting this out, like playing this for the very first time. Or in this case, we're going to play along or relearning it with this kind of approach. If you know rudiments, if you know this particular rudiment, you want to take this approach, you may want to kind of take it a step back and play slower, just to kind of get the feel of this, the way we're going to approach it here. So, again, I don't own the rights to this music, just going to say that off the bat, but we're going to be jamming along with the Switch remix, the R&B remix with Will Smith featuring Robin Thicke. So here we go. We're gonna I'll count us off when the track starts, and I'm gonna start with pattern A, B, C, and D, and then we're gonna I'm gonna mix it up. I might throw it out what I'm gonna do, but just kind of follow along and just jam to the tune and have fun. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming out this evening. Yeah, thank you, thank
you.
Go.
1, 2, ready, and pattern A. Pattern C, 2, ready, stay on C. Cool. Well, you can jam along with this song. If you have any questions or maybe suggestions or any thoughts on what other songs I could suggest to jam along to with this idea, you're more than welcome to send those my way or ask. I have a couple songs that you could do as well. The reason why I chose Switch, kind of a quick backstory before we end this, is that Paradiddle, the sticking of Paradiddle, it's the lead sticking switches. You're not always leading right hand heavy. This is a great opportunity to become very ambidextrous. When we're playing, you don't always have to lead right hand lead, and this Paradiddle rudiment is perfect for teaching dexterity. So have fun with this. Leave a like, share this with your friends, share this with anybody that wants to jam along with this. And hey, much love to y'all. Guys, be safe, God bless, and you have a wonderful day. Take care.